Rental Board to order. Today is February 5th, 2025. If you could please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sal Mangano, and with me this evening are Carla Bryant, Maria Adisi, Kelly Medwig, Mike Murray, Mark Smith, and Patrick Nolan. For the record, we do have a quorum for this evening. At this time, I just would like to remind everyone that we are live streaming on the internet.
Before we begin calling the hearing scheduled for this evening, I would like to take a moment and explain our procedures. I will call the hearing scheduled one at a time in the order that has been published in a legal notice and listed on our agenda. Starting with case number 1, I will read the legal notice aloud. The applicant or an authorized representative will step up to the podium. The speaker must give his or her name and home address for the record. All speakers will be sworn in by myself. The applicant or the representative will be given an opportunity to present any information that they wish to present to the board. If none, we will proceed to board questions. After board questions, any interested parties will have an opportunity to speak. The applicant will be called back at the end of the hearing to respond to any questions or concerns. The public hearing will likely be closed after the applicant answers any final questions. Should there be any open issues on the application or items that need to be remedied or corrected, the hearing may be held open for a longer period in the board's discretion to allow time for the applicant to make such corrections. If you wish to speak, ladies and gentlemen, please keep it to the property issues and the property issues only. At this time, we ask you please silence your cell phones. And please note, the rental board shall have the right to rely on any information that is presented by the applicant. If any such information is later found to be inaccurate or incorrect, the rental board may determine that any approvals, rental permits, or other actions previously granted in connection with the applicant are null and void. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So the first new application is 102 North Emerson Avenue in Copeg. Unfortunately, there was no sign posted on that house when the inspector went there, so we're going to have to adjourn that meeting for this evening. So do we have a motion on this?
Motion to adjourn, Kelly Medwig.
Seconded by?
Seconded by Mike Murray.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. This case is being adjourned for the evening. As we move on, 550 Oak Street in Copeg. 550 Oak Street in Copeg. Okay, we'll be on second call. 15 South 26th Street in Wyandanch. Okay, please come forward. How are you, sir? Good evening. Good. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you, sir. For the record, could you please state your name and your home address?
Desmond D'Souza, 803 Belmore Avenue, East Meadow, New York, 11554.
Thank you, sir. Anyone here from the board wish to speak regarding this address, 15 South 26th Street?
No, thank you.
No? Anyone here in the audience wish to speak regarding this property on 15 South 26th Street in Wyandanch? No, hearing none. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve, Kelly Medwig.
Seconded by?
Seconded by Mike Murray.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. This has been approved, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
As we move on, ladies and gentlemen, 120 Miramar Boulevard in Lindenhurst. How are you, sir?
How are you?
Good. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, sir. For the record, can you please state your name and your home address?
Edward Cassandro.
Yes.
The property we're at?
No, your home address.
317 South Lagoon Drive, Copeg, New York.
Thank you, sir. When you sent in the application, you agreed to the terms and conditions on this property, correct?
Yes.
Okay, sir. Anyone here from the board have any questions or concerns regarding this property?
I do,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman.
Smith?
Mr. Cassandra, there are two things that we require that you do prior to issuing your permit. The first is replace the driveway, And the second is power wash the house. Okay?
Anyone here from the audience that wishes to speak regarding this property at 120 Miramar Boulevard in Lindenhurst? Okay. Hearing none, do we have a motion?
Motion to extend to April 30th by Mark Smith.
Seconded by?
Seconded by Kelly Medwick.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. So, sir, we're going to extend this to April 30th for you to power wash the house and then also replace the driveway.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, yes. Sir, so when they rip up your driveway, if you just send the town photos so we have that on record, and then the inspector will come out, and then once the driveway is put down, then they'll inspect it once it's put down. But once you send the pictures when it's...
April 30th, right?
Yes, sir. And if you need more time, just call the town and, or email the town, and then it'll be extended.
All right, thank
You know,
you
if you
very
need more
much.
time, okay? Thank you, sir.
Have a good night.
Right.
As we move on to the renewals, this is 195 Cumberbatch Street in Wyandanch. Good evening.
Good evening.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you, sir. For the record, could you please state your name and your home address?
Ricky Hill, 28 Broome Street, West Babylon, New York.
Thank you, sir. When you sent in the renewal, do you agree to the terms and conditions that the town sent you?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Anyone here from the board wish to speak regarding this property?
I do, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Mark Smith. All right, Mr. Hill, there are 5 items that we need for you to address for your permit to be issued. The first is to replace the driveway. The second is to replace the front curbing.
Now, I have a concern about that curving. There's no way that I can properly replace the curving with that tree that's on the shoulder that's actually owned by, I assume, by the town of Babylon. Any curving that goes in there is going to be broken up as a result of those roots. And that's the reason why those curves are broken up right now, because of the roots. So are we going to eliminate the tree? Are we going to excavate the roots? Because if there's no way you can do
Do you
it.
want that tree there?
Excuse
Do
me?
you want the tree there?
I don't want
Because you
the
could
tree.
probably
It doesn't matter to
request
me,
for it to be cut down if you want.
okay?
You could request, just even based on what it's
Okay, but
causing
what about the
to occur.
roots? The roots is what broke up the curves.
They'll do everything. They take it out, the town takes it out, grinds it.
Cut it down and stump grind it.
And so,
So you could request that through the Citizen Services Department.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a little while, so right now,
so if it takes a little while, where does that put me in the sense of replacing the curves?
we'll
Work with you.
work with you.
I mean, if we're going to set a time and date or a date when this has to be done, that's all going to be based on how fast the town can provide those services.
No, they can be separate. That could be separate. Okay?
Okay, so where do
So
we go now?
we'll address the tree and the curbing separate.
Yeah, we want to include that in this.
With the curbing, we'll leave that
Okay,
out.
so right now, we're just dealing with the driveway?
Well,
Some more stuff.
first was to replace the driveway, curbing and tree sometime in the future, after the town cuts the tree down. Remove all debris from the property.
That's not my fence. That's the adjoining property owner's fence.
Yeah.
It's obvious.
Fair, sir. And normally, I'm not questioning your honesty. I just want to get a clear picture. Normally, what happens is the homeowner will pull the nice side out to the neighbor.
So we always assumed that fence would be yours because the not nice side is toward your property.
But it's not. And I felt that was going to be an issue, but I figured that it was kind of obvious that that
Almost
fence
looks like
belongs to the next door neighbor. I never had that fence there, okay? And I didn't take it upon myself to go there and say, you gotta remove your fence. It's falling on my property.
Well, Mr. Hill,
Take it off your property.
Huh?
You can take it off your property and put it back on his.
yeah, because, also, Mr. Hill, if you take a look at the photograph, there's a post in the center and there's a fence on either side.
Correct.
So you're saying both fences belong to the neighbor. You don't assume any responsibility for either.
I would take responsibility for where you see that center post and
Right.
to the fence that is nearest to my dwelling.
So the section closest to the
Yeah.
cars, yeah.
Yeah, you see the center post, and then like you said, there's two sections of fencing. One that faces the adjoining property owner, and the fence with the stockade fence that is nearest to my property.
Are the two vehicles on your driveway or no? That's next door
You're in the
neighbors.
wrong- You're looking at the wrong house.
That's the neighbor's property.
My
That's,
driveway
I asked you a
is
question.
empty.
I asked you a question. Are those two cars on your driveway or is that the
No.
neighbor's property? All right, so that's the question. It's
No.
not where I'm looking. It was a question. Okay, so the property is the one on the right.
My property would be the one to the east.
There's no way to tell east or west from here. So are you, so since we want to be like that,
Okay, so we'll say to the right.
very good. Thank you. So whatever fence is on,
Whatever's
Your
leaning
side?
on your property.
There's a fence there, there's a metal fence there that's damaged as well.
That's
Metal
the
posts.
portion that I was saying that I understand belongs to me, where that center post is, and then the fence to the right.
so we're also dealing with that little metal fence with that post.
That's what he's talking about.
There's a metal fence in the rear.
Well, there's one here, too.
Yeah, that's a communication thing between Mr. Hill and his neighbor in regards
Yeah,
to
the wooden
that,
fence.
for that wooden fence, considering its condition. Ultimately, I could only assume then that you're only responsible for that, 2-foot-high piece of metal fence.
And maybe that one piece of wood in the front you could take down since it's leaning
Well,
on your
that's
property.
the other gentleman's
Yeah, but it's
property.
leaning
Yeah.
on you.
I understand that, but do I have the right to take his fence down?
If it's on your property, you could lean it back over there, or you could.
Oh, I could,
Maybe you just
I
need
could
to have
push
a
it back into his
conversation.
driveway.
Back over there. Be safe.
No, I never spoke to him because, I knew that was his fence, and, oh, I can talk to him. The guy's a reasonable guy.
Good evening, Patrick Nolan. Thank you for coming down and being a part of the process. When you look at the picture here and we start splitting hairs over, when the fence went up, how certain you are that the wood fence is not yours, it's falling into your property, and then you've got the metal fence in front of that you do take responsibility for.
Correct.
And then you've got this picket fence on the left that you acknowledge is at least on your property. When you look at this picture, it's not pleasing to the eye. We can agree on that?
I agree with that.
Okay. The goal of the board is to look out for owner-occupied homes so that rental properties cannot be distinguished from owner-occupied homes.
Correct.
And this is, this is material. These are fence panels that are falling onto your property, and you have an unequivocal right to remove them from your property. The part that looks terrible is the fact that it's falling down. It's not the fact that it's a fence.
I agree with you.
Okay. So what our ask is it to not look that way, and to have your cooperation changing it. Can we have that?
Well, I don't want to say I'm going to change it, but I have no problems removing it.
Okay. Again, it's
Okay.
fallen onto your property. You have every right to remove it. Mm-hmm. And there's no code that says a fence has to be anywhere.
Understood.
Thank you very much.
All right, we're almost done. Okay. Move or replace the stockade fence. I guess we were,
That one, that's falling.
That's the one that was.
that's what we're dealing with?
No, right now you're on the bottom item.
Now
That's the rear
rear
fence.
fence.
that's the rear. And remove or replace the rear fence, which is next,
Now,
which we're looking at now, the chain link.
even and based on what we're talking about, even though I know that fence is not mine, okay, I've owned that property close to maybe 30 years. I never installed the fence on that property. Now, that could belong to, and probably does, to the adjoining rear property owner. Now, how can I distinguish if it's on his property or my property?
Have you reviewed a survey?
I haven't looked at the survey in a while.
Do you have it?
I don't have it here, and I would have to go
We
through
might
my
have one.
files. You may have it, but I don't have any clear knowledge of that being on my property.
But you don't have any clear knowledge of it
Being on my property,
not being on your property.
or being on my property.
But you don't know that it's off as well.
As far as I know, I never installed a chain link fence. I've had the property for about 30 years, and it belongs to the adjoining rear property owner.
It's a very old survey, the one we have. You can't see anything on it.
Well, it would just give us the property line,
It's,
the dimension. Let's see. We have, wow, that's a lovely copy.
yeah.
But it's showing a 60 by 100
Correct.
from the curb. So could you measure that off with a little measuring wheel, and maybe you could determine if it's within the 100 feet, or
He's had it.
then you could possibly assume that it's yours. Or if it's further than that, then maybe it might be the
And if it's his, then where do we go from there?
All right, you know what?
And it's not part of your application.
Then then it won't be held against you. What do you think?
Would the town do that? Yeah, we could have someone do that, absolutely.
But we have somebody from the town come out and measure 100 feet from the curb to the back, and we'll figure out whose property it's on.
Exactly.
Fair way to go about it?
I agree.
Okay.
We'll go with, all right, the fence to the rear
3 foot.
presently is off our list of things. The front curbing as well.
I mean, more than 3. Yeah, without a. He has 3.
Okay. All right, so until we determine these outstanding items.
Okay, and can I ask, these outstanding items is the tree, the curb,
The tree,
and the
the curb,
fence?
and the fence in the back.
In the driveway.
No, the driveway, we know,
Oh, the
it
question.
belongs to me.
Yeah,
But
Sorry, the question.
Excluded items.
Excluding items, those tree, the curb, and the fence in the rear.
okay,
We're good? Excluded. All right, so replace the driveway, remove all debris, and that should be just it.
okay, now,
How about the stockade?
Yeah, the stockade fence, the portion of the wood fence
Right.
that is falling onto your property.
Address
cannot-
that.
it needs to be addressed.
And the
Okay,
little metal fence
now-
up there in the front.
Yeah.
replacing the driveway, removing the debris, and that's chain link fence.
Short chain link and that leaning piece of stockade.
Right.
That's your
Now-
neighbor's.
How much time do I have to do this? Because I am looking to I'm attempting to get a rental permit.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Shall I let them know now? We're extending to April 30th.
Okay, but now if I have those items done, say within the next 2 weeks, and you come out and inspect and see that those items have been done, how soon can I get a rental permit? Okay? Because I don't want to have to wait for the tree and the rear fence. All right.
Those, I,
Right. Okay, because those items I can have done in 2 weeks. All right.
The one thing I'm a little concerned about is I don't think that the driveway is going to be 2 weeks because of the cold weather. I think all the-
Depends on the, yeah, but I do, yeah,
Okay.
I agree with you.
At this time, is there anyone else that in the audience that wishes to speak regarding this property? Hearing none, do we have a motion, Mr. Smith?
Motion to extend to April 30th, Mark Smith.
Seconded by? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. So at this time, sir, we're going to extend this to April 30th, you say, Mr. Smith?
Yes.
April
April
30th.
30th.
So we could, replace the driveway. When you replace the driveway, if you could send pictures of it ripped up to the town, then we'll have that on file. Also, remove all the debris, and then take down the little chain link fence in the front, on the side, and also remove that, the stockade fences on your property, okay?
Okay,
Thank you, sir. Thank you for understanding.
have a good night.
Good night.
As we move on, 539 Succotaug Avenue in East Farmingdale? 537, excuse me. I need glasses. I'm not old. How you doing, sir? Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you, sir. For the record, can you please state your name and your home address?
Christopher Lynch, 70 Maple Street, Sayville, New York, 11782.
Thank you, sir. When you sent in the renewal for this property, you agree to the terms and conditions that the town
Yes.
sent you? Anyone here from the board wish to speak regarding this property?
no.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone here in the audience wish to speak regarding this property? Hearing none, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve, Patrick Nolan?
Seconded by?
Seconded by Carla Bryant.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, this has been approved. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
105 Surf Road in Lindenhurst. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. For the
My na-
record, can you please state your name and your home address?
My name is Jacqueline Schoenwalder. I live at 4078 West Gilgo Beach, West Gilgo.
Great,
And my property's at 105 Surf Road.
thank you. When you sent in the renewal for this property, do you agree to the terms and conditions on this property?
Yes.
Anyone here from the town wish to speak regarding this property?
No,
Well,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Anyone here in the audience wish to speak? Hearing none, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve, Patrick Nolan?
Seconded by?
Seconded by
Thank you.
Carla Bryant.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Hearing
So
none?
this is just a one-time for this because I get a rental inspection every 2 years? Like with the board?
Yeah, then,
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
thank you.
Have a good night.
You've been approved.
You've been approved, yes. 7 North Strand Avenue in East Farmingdale? How are you today? How are you?
Good,
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
yes.
Great. For the record, can you please state your name and your home address?
Nancy Coleman, 5 Arc Place, Huntington Station, New York, 11746.
Great, thank you. When you sent in the renewal on this property, you agree to the terms and conditions on this property?
I'm sorry?
When you sent in the renewal on this property, do you agree to the terms and conditions on this
Oh,
property?
yes, yes.
Okay. Anyone here from the board have any questions or concerns regarding this property?
No, thank you.
Anyone in the audience wish to speak? Hearing none, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve, Patrick Nolan?
Seconded by?
Seconded by Carla Bryant.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion's been approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As we move on to second call, ladies and gentlemen, second call, 550 Oak Street in Copeg. 550 Oak Street in Copeg. 550 Oak Street in Copeg. Do we have a motion?
Motion to adjourn, Kelly Medwig.
Seconded by?
Seconded by Mike Murray.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, this is adjourned. At this time, we'll be ending the live stream portion of the evening.